Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Rowe and I am dedicated to improving myself and also helping you guys to improve. Today's video is going to be about values and why it is important to assess your values regularly, and I'm also going to be telling a personal experience, a bit of a story, and how I had a bit of a collapse in my values recently, and this is going to provide a bit of a background into why it is important to assess your values on a pretty regular basis. And then after that, we'll just wrap up and we'll be done. So let's go ahead and get started with why it's important to assess your values and exactly what I'm talking about when I'm saying values. So when we look at values, common values that people might really attribute a lot of value to or a lot of importance to is something like relationships or love in relationships. I know at least, earlier on in my life, I really gave this a lot of attention, and I attributed a lot of importance to relationships and to love in the context of a romantic relationship specifically. And for a while, I focused on this, and I had a few relationships, and I went from going from not really having any relationships to having a few and getting, a bit on my feet, so to speak. I had a better understanding of it. And that was good. And that was something that for my personality and for the experiences that I had had in life, it was beneficial for me to go through that. But then there was a point in a relationship previously where my values started to change a little bit. I started to focus a little bit on improving my career and getting better with money. And I started focusing on other things. And this led to my previous value, and one thing that I really identified with being that attributing that importance to relationships. I was getting away from that. And that's all fine and good as long as you're paying attention to what your values are. But again, I already mentioned a few of the common examples: relationships, money, success, family. These are some of the things that people really value commonly, and you can look to these as examples so that you're understanding what I'm saying when I mean your values. I know most people probably get it, but I just wanted to make that clear. So now let's get into the example of what happened to me recently. So I had been working two jobs, going to school at the same time, and I was trying to start my business at the same time, a business investing in real estate. And I'm doing all of this, and I'm only 23 years old right now. And I came to realize that I was focusing way too much on this idea of external success. I was putting way too much value on that. And I was looking at that, seeing that if I would become successful in other people's eyes and also in my own eyes, that I would be happy. And I realized after having a few kind of breakdown experiences from the stress that came with all those activities, that I wasn't really getting the happiness that I initially was looking for in these activities. And that's when I began the reassessment of my values. And I started looking at it, and I was looking at, okay, I was so focused on money, maybe I was lacking some attention to some relationships or some friendships. Or, maybe, and this is something that I noticed personally, is that I was paying a bit too much attention to that outward success, and I wasn't really being as kind of a person as I could be. Sometimes money would get in the way of me being kind. If it was an extra $10 or something, if it was doing something small for someone, maybe I wouldn't do that just so I could save it and invest it. And I was very frugal at that time, and I still am. I still have all those same kind of tendencies, but it's a reassessment of values that really gets you to where you can start to move on in your life and get to a place where you can be a bit happier and a bit more fulfilled. So after going through that experience, experiencing all that stress, a bit of depression, and then coming out of that and experiencing more positive emotions because I've moved away from that old value structure, that was a positive move. And that's the kind of thing that you should try to think about. Think about it maybe every few months, every 6 months. Think to yourself and really assess this. It's probably best to write this down. Spend 30 minutes, or you could spend an hour. You could spend a lot of time going over your values. But I know even something as small as 5 to 10 minutes could really change things. Because it really what we're looking for here when we're looking into our own personal values is we're looking to get a bit of a recontextualization. You want to look at things from a bit of a different perspective and see where you might have been a bit too focused on one thing, or not focused on another thing. And it's by assessing these values, you get to where you have the awareness of yourself, the strong self-awareness that it takes to make a better choice for yourself. So those things really give you an introduction to the idea of checking into your values. I think that I've given you guys enough background information. Now the main thing is for you guys to just go out there and start looking into your values. I would suggest after watching this video, if you have a bit of free time, get out a pencil and paper, or pen and paper, or just type it out on a Word document or something. Get it out and just track what you think, what is most important to me. Am I focused on school success? Am I focused on my family relationships? Am I focused on romantic relationships? Am I focused on spirituality? What are you trying to achieve? Because there's only so much time in each day, and there's only so many days and years that you have in this life. So it's important to use it in a way that really serves you in achieving your highest purpose and functioning through your highest values. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up the video for today. I hope that it helped you guys. I hope that it helped you to maybe see a few areas where you might need to refocus some attention. And if it did help you, please give me a thumbs up, a like on YouTube. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and I appreciate any support that you guys give. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the comments down below. I will respond to any questions as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm going to be making more videos about self-improvement pretty much daily now. So go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching.